I'll tell you what, Jimbo. I did the Monday night game last night,
Okay.
and well, listen. I told everybody for like the following week, like if you wanted to watch somebody be absolutely miserable watching a football game, tune on in. Like that was going to be the game to do it. The problem was, and I think that this maybe helped add to it, is the Giants actually gave me hope for a little while. So
Okay.
the crash was even worse when it happened.
Yeah.
And Michael Vick in your house? What the hell is going on?
That's Lennon and Ringo saying, you just got home. You didn't say hi to us yet.
Um, so yeah, not a great night. I was miserable. I didn't even join my Discord friends afterwards. I was just like, you know what? Not rating any teams. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just gonna go here. And now, boy, we have some. There's a lot of news happening right now. So let's cut all this and let's get to the show. And welcome to the countdown, everybody. I am your boy King right over here, right over there. That is your good friend Jimbo, as we are going to just hang out here for a little bit, go over our top 12 NFL power rankings, let you know where we feel the best teams in the NFL are. Also, in just a little bit, we're going to cover the Bootycheeks Five, our 5 worst teams that we have currently in the NFL. Jimbo, though, lots happening so far. We've had a trade. Deontay Johnson now is with the Baltimore Ravens for a 5th-round pick. So I mean, Panthers continually just panther.
Yeah.
You figure you'd be able to get a little bit more, a little something, a little nugget, a little piece to help rebuild. Okay, I mean, whatever. Then we have some injury news. Stephon Diggs out for the year, tore an ACL down there in Houston. So they were without, I believe, Tank Dell for a little while with an injury. Now Stephon Diggs is gone for the year. So, oh no, it was
Nico's
Nico
still out
Collins.
for
I'm
a
sorry,
week.
Nico Collins
Yeah,
was out.
yeah,
That was it.
yeah. Nico's still another week away.
So some injury problems helping, or no, I mean hurting, not helping. Not tearing an ACL never helps.
Yay,
I don't know if
we're hurt.
anybody's not sure if you're aware of that, of how health works. But yeah, tearing ACLs not helpful, not helpful. But will that affect where we put the Texans in our top 12 power rankings? You're gonna have to stay tuned to figure it out and see what happens. And then we also just got word, and this one was kind of writing on the wall, baby, especially after last week. Boy, how do you lose your job in one play? That's all you got to do, baby. All you got to do, tap yourself out. Anthony Richardson has been benched. Joe Flacco will start for the Colts against the Minnesota Vikings, starting with this Sunday night game, of course, which you'll be able to watch along with right here on Stay Tuned Sports with your boy King, as we watch along with that, as we do every single NFL primetime game. Jimbo, a lot happening, a lot going on. Quickly, your thoughts on just all that, quick little 1, 2, 3, beep, 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 kind of
Yeah.
news machine gunning there.
The Stephon Diggs, obviously, that's a big loss. We're gonna see, the Houston team is. How big of a loss will this be? Are they gonna regress even worse than what they kind of seemed like last year, compared to last year? Anthony Richardson, even Tua, who has 20 concussions, knows not to say, "Oh, I was just tired. I
Nobody
needed a
taps out.
break."
You don't.
Nobody.
And this is the thing. He also later in that press conference tried to say like, "Oh, I'm more like Lamar. I run more. I'm not. Maybe I'm not a thrower. I only completed 10 passes, but I'm more like Lamar." Hey, guess what? You know what I've never seen Lamar Jackson do? For somebody who gets complained about because they say he's too much of he's a running back playing quarterback, and everybody wants to say that. And he runs all over the field. He runs around like a motherfucker. He is
Yeah.
everywhere. You know what I've never seen Lamar Jackson do?
Tapped out.
Lamar's
And,
never
and,
done that. Lamar's never done that, Anthony. So
and to add on to that too, like, okay, you're tired. Say to the coach, "Hey, call run play." You call run play. What, a minute runs off? If you can't get back to being not tired in a minute, there's an issue.
and as somebody said, like this was earlier on in the game. It's like, how do you not like? And listen, I know somebody's going to sit there and say, what has your fat ass ever fucking done? You bet you get... You know what? Listen. The last time I probably did anything athletic was when I played football in high school. Okay? So let's face facts. Any high school or football glory ideas that I ever had, they were gone rather simply. But I did win the effort award in my freshman year. I just want to say. I want to point that out. And why did I win the effort award in my freshman year? Why? Because I never came off the field. I never stopped. I ran the stairs. I went to every practice. I was in there every single time giving maximum effort for every single play, every practice that I was part of. That's why. So, you have to understand, there are people out there who would kill for that job, who would kill to be the starting quarterback of an NFL team. And never in my life have I seen a quarterback do that. Ever have I seen a quarterback do that.
Yeah.
By the way, ELS is in the chat here with us. Thank you so much for joining us, ELS, here on the Countdown. By the way, chat's open if you want to come in and say hi and critique our top 12s and our Bootycheeks Fives as we go ahead and do this all live, by the way. You can help us out in there. Chat's open. By the way, you want to help us out a little bit more directly, we do have the link for our donation station and our merch store in the description below this video, so check that out right now, please. But ELS in the chat, just giving us some Packers news here. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur on Jordan Love, who again injured his groin in the last game where Malik Willis had to finish up, says that if he can go, he'll go. We're going to see where he's at the end of the week. So it appears that Jordan Love's going to be a game-time decision, week-to-week decision. I guess they like to dictate that. I doubt he's going to practice all week.
Yeah.
If we're going to be honest, I don't think he's going to practice at all during the week. And just see if they can keep that groin intact. You want to make sure you keep the junk safe up there in Green Bay, especially when it gets a little bit colder. And also, ELS, there's one more comment here in the chat. Says, in the terms of losing Stephon Diggs for the Texans, it's a loss without a doubt, but I don't think it's a big loss. That's kind of my thinking, too. They have a lot of weapons down there in Texas. They do. They got, like we mentioned, Nico's going to be coming back in a little bit. They still have Tank Dell. They still like that. They have Mixon in the backfield, which has been a godsend for them in the running game. Again, it's a loss, but it's not like Stephon Diggs was the wide receiver number one there. He really wasn't. He was the icing. He was the little cherry on top. He wasn't the base. He wasn't the cake mix. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see that. But, so enough of that. Nice little coverage of a little bit of the news. Again, you'll get more of that tomorrow during the... Oh, wait, I might not be here tomorrow. You might have to do it alone. Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, no, because I got to go to the doctors. Like a doctor. I got to go see the doctors. But let's go ahead and let's jump on over here. Because it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Bootycheeks Five. The 5 teams that me and Jimbo think are perhaps the worst currently in the NFL. And Jimbo, as always, you will go first. Let's pop your booty cheeks up here. Well, I mean, your Bootycheeks Five anyway. Please don't put your booty cheeks on YouTube.
No.
Do not do that.
Cancel here.
Do not do that. So here we go. Jimbo's Bootycheeks Five, bang, right there on the screen, as you can see, 28-32. You still got the Panthers. Man, I don't think you've moved the Panthers once all year. I think you did maybe early on. I think when they won their game against the Raiders, that was the only time you moved them around. Otherwise, the Panthers have been there
spot.
the entire time. Then we see you got a couple other teams. I'm interested to see why you have the Titans at 30 above the Dolphins, who are 2-5. They did lose on a last-second field goal again, or just right. Yeah, because they played the Cardinals, right? And the Cardinals won the last-second field goal by 1 point. So you have them down 3 spots, and then you have the 1-6 Titans there above them. Interesting. Where's your thought process on that?
So it's not going to make sense. I know it's not going to make sense, but even though the Titans got just manhandled by Detroit.
Oh yes, it was sad.
I just think there's a lot more issues on Miami's team than what's going on with Tennessee.
If I can interject real quickly though, just real quick, I just want to, because you said before, like you look at your rankings and you try, you futz around with it, but for the most part, you're like, if this team played the other team on a neutral field or something like that, who would win? And that's how you would kind of base on who's higher, who's lower. So
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this question: if the Miami Dolphins play the Tennessee Titans on a neutral field somewhere, who's winning that game?
If it's Mason Rudolph, I'm a lot more confident that the Titans win.
You're out of your mind.
If it's Will Levis, it's the Dolphins.
You're
Even
out of your
with-
mind. Either way, the
The
Dolphins are
Dolphins
good.
have no offensive line, and this is not me watching.
Yeah, but
Frank the
Tennessee
Tank
doesn't
Jones
have
and shit, but-
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it may be a 3-0 game. It may be a 6-3 game. It's not going to be a high scoring game by any.
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
stretch
all
of
right.
imagination.
Listen. This is your booty cheeks. They're very
Yeah.
personal to you. I understand that. So, all right. And then what do we have else? So we continue on. You have to finish it out there, up at the top.
So we got the Jaguars. I moved them up. They're still not a good team, but for some reason, since Dougie P said we got to change the culture around here, they've been playing decent. I think they've been up 20, 25 plus points the past 2 games each game. They're not going to make the playoffs or anything like that. But
And again, they lost, but I think this last game was the best they've played all year.
yeah, so they're borderline getting to that point of they might be a team to make games interesting, fun to watch. Kind of like what we thought Arizona was very early on in the season.
Maybe. Yeah, all right. Okay. And then the Patriots there, you got them bumped up a spot with their win over the New York Jets. What has been said to be, honestly, statistically, an impossible win. The Jets, I believe that it's like 752-0 with a team that has a box score that the Jets had, which was over 20 points, no turnovers, 300-yard passing from your quarterback. And yet you still lost. Like, it's literally impossible. It's 752-1 now, and that one is the Jets losing to the Patriots this week, just improbably.
And like to add on to that, I'm saying it here right now. That Patriots win ended the Jets season. They're done.
Yeah. Oh no, the Jets season's over. Jets season's over. 100%.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win another game. Like that's how bad I think they are.
Oh, it's bad. Oh no, it's bad. It's bad. Like they're not getting a 500.
Yes.
They're not getting a 500.
They're slowly getting down to the Bootycheeks Five for me.
For a team that I thought
there.
was going to be a 14-15 win team,
Yep.
it's over. It's over for them.
Yeah.
It really is. So there's Jimbo's Bootycheeks 5. He's got the Patriots at number 28 up a spot, as well are the Jaguars up a spot there at 29. Coming back into his booty cheeks is the Titans at 30. I love the phrase. The fact that I ended up calling this the Bootycheeks 5 is maybe one of the most genius things I've ever done.
The Titans. Only other reason why they're back into the rankings here too is Will Levis's stupid ass Mayo commercials that he keeps on posting.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know he sucks, but still seeing the Mayo commercials is fun. I can't hate the guy for that. Get your bag where you can, man. Because he's not going to get it playing football too much longer.
I was gonna say, yeah.
The Dolphins at 31 for Jimbo, down 3 spots after their loss to the Cardinals, and in seemingly perpetual hell are the Carolina Panthers in Jimbo's number 32 spot at 1 and 7. Now, as for myself, let's take a look at my Bootycheeks 5s, which I'm going to say has had quite a bit of change this week. And we're going to take a look there. And now me and Jimbo agree. For the first time, maybe since the very early part of the season, the Carolina Panthers down 3 spots now in dead last again at number 32 at 1 and 7. They're just a bad team. At 31, I got the Titans. Titans at 1 and 6. Again, they've just been bad, and now even with Mason Rudolph, they're getting just dog walked by the Lions, and there's just no hope. There's nothing fun or interesting that keeps you watching a Titans game. Like they're just that bad, unfortunately. Yeah. Again, I had them out of my Bootycheeks 5 too. So the Titans again coming into my Bootycheeks as well. Another team coming into my Bootycheeks is the New Orleans Saints, and I know Pecan, who is right now currently our in the clubhouse donation leader. A big Saints fan, loves the Saints, and they've been saying like I think the Saints are in the Bootycheeks. I think unfortunately now, after 6 straight losses, I think you have to put them in there. Saints at number 30 in my Bootycheeks 5 at 2 and 6. Also coming into and we just talked about them, ladies and gentlemen. We got a little New York action at the top of the booty cheeks as the Jets at 29 and the Giants at 28. Giants have no change. Again, the fact that the Giants had a chance in that game, despite the fact of some really dumb, stupid-ass play calling from Brian Dable, some bad penalties taken by our offensive line, and again, just plays that were unable to be completed by either Daniel Jones or our receivers or both. The fact that the Giants were one possession away in that game and had a chance at the end and got a fumble, but still fucked that up anyway. More than I thought they were going to do. So, yeah, they lost, but they stay a lega before. But the Jets, and I have the Jets lower than the Giants, even though they're both 2-6. And this is why. The Jets have lost 5 games in a row. And it's the expectation level. We had no expectations for the Giants going into this season.
Yeah.
I playfully had the Giants, I believe, at 8-9. And making the playoffs at 8-9 in my thing because I thought the NFC was so bad. Whoops. But even so, that was my hopefulest of hopeful outlooks for the Giants. Was below 500, could make the playoffs if the NFC is really weak, but that was the best I thought they could do, was sub 500. And so it's the fact that the Giants are 2-6, it's all right, I get it. And the only thing that hurts about it is that they should have won a couple of the games that they did lose. Fucking Brian Dable. Fucking fire him. Hashtag fire Brian Dable. The Jets' expectation, like I said, we both had the Jets at 14, 15 wins. We were both man, this Jets team has a chance to be a real contender in the AFC. Their defense is solid. Even with the Hassan Reddick stuff that was going on. They got Aaron Rodgers. They have, the receivers. And this was before even Devontae Adams was there. We're they got the receivers. They got the weapons. They got Breece Hall. They're going to be able to do so much stuff. Offensively, they've been a single note and terrible at that. They've been such an absolute letdown. They may be the only reason why the Cowboys aren't in here yet. And we'll see what happens next week with Dallas, because Dallas just keeps on getting worse too. So I don't know where we're going to go from here. But that's how I have it right now for my Bootycheeks 5. ELS says, I agree. He agrees with the Bootycheeks 5 that are up here right now. With the Giants at number 28. The Jets, New York, or New Jersey, if you're a hamster, who joins us in the chat all the time and likes to argue with me about what the team should be. And it's he says, I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it again. I'm not going to do it. Anyway, Giants 28, Jets 29. The Saints make their debut as well at number 30. The Titans are back into the Booty Cheeks at 31 and reclaiming their spot at the bottom of my Booty Cheeks is the Carolina Panthers at 32. Jimbo, what do you think of my Booty Cheeks?
I agree. I mean, I'm kind of surprised you had the Giants there. Yes, it's a
really?
loss. Yeah. I mean, I probably would have had them 27, 26. Just because going up against a good Steelers team, like you said, it was a one-possession game that they lost by. That is a moral victory in a way, even though, Ryan Dable should be promoted to GM.
Stop it. Dude, I was so pissed off this morning listening to New York radio. Boomer Esiason was on there talking about he's oh, Brian Dable's such a great coach. He's so great. It's just these players aren't performing. It's did you watch this fucking 2-point convert? First of all, why are you going for 2 points there? That was fucking stupid. I lost my mind on the stream. I literally lost my mind. I was what are you doing? Going for 2 points in that situation. Well, the analytics are kind of saying that fuck you fat Ozempic. Fuck. Oh, God. He's so bad. And then the play callings, again, loving it. He wants Wan'Dale Robinson to do nothing but 5-yard curls. That's all he wants him to do. And it's can you stop? And we saw that Daniel Jones can get the ball down the field. He got to Darius Slayton a couple of times last night going deep down the field. What the? So that's why the Giants are still there. That's why they're there.
Now, let me ask you this real quick, though, before we go to our 12. Is it possible the Jets can overtake the Panthers as the worst team in the NFL?
They're
Or
only a
that,
game away. They only have one more win. This is the thing and this is why the Jets are in there now for me. You haven't put them in there yet. I have, because despite all their talent, they got one more win than the Carolina fucking Panthers. One.
yeah. And,
I'm sorry.
I think I
that-
have them close.
When you put what the record is, how they've played, plus what the expectations were, yes, the Jets are. They're there, and they should be there. And they're going to be there for a while. And God forbid there comes a day. Like, if Carolina wins another game somewhere along the way and the Jets lose, there's a very good chance that the Jets end up in the bottom of the booty cheeks.
Yeah.
Very good chance. ELS in the chat says next week that he can see the Cowboys in the Bootycheeks 5 with another loss. And I'm telling you, it's not too far. Depending on how the rest of the Bootycheeks go, if the Cowboys lose and let's say one of the other ones have a pretty decent win or a good win from the Bootycheeks 5, like let's say the Giants beat the Commanders out of nowhere, which we almost beat them in week 2, but again, they've gotten a lot better since then. So they seem to have hit a groove. But like if like let's say something like that happens, clearly I think that's going to open up a spot for the Cowboys, depending on how everything else goes. But now it's time for the main event, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get to the top 12, the power rankings for this week for your good friend Jimbo and your boy King. Let's jump on over back to our vert screen and oh, we got new stuff here. I'm doing it different. We're doing it different, Jimbo. We're doing it a little different. We're going to go ahead and we're going to reveal both of ours at the same time and see how that works. So right now, let's look at what we have for our number 12, our very last team in the top 12 of the power rankings. Jimbo is revealed to be the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have the Chicago Bears at 4-3 after what is essentially a miracle loss. I wasn't going to knock them down too far because, listen, it was a bad game anyway. So they're knocked down more, not because they lost the game on a Hail Mary, but because they kind of played like ass.
Yeah.
If we're going to be honest. And so that's why I have them there at 4-3, down 2 spots to number 12. You have the Niners. Now, granted, they played well. They beat the Cowboys, but apparently this year beating the Cowboys is not that hard. But they're 4-4 in a bad division in which you've been very critical of Brock Purdy. You've been very critical of how they've played in their last games.
Nothing but lies.
So why do you have the 49ers back into your top 12?
Well, so they dropped out of the top 12 last week. I think I had like 15, 16, somewhere around there. They beat Dallas, which, you get bonus points, for me. I think also like looking ahead is I kind of took looking ahead into consideration too. You're going to be having Christian McCaffrey coming back. I think this team is better with Christian McCaffrey. Like he's basically the only player of that team. Even Brandon Ayuk wasn't hurt or Debo wasn't hurt. It's shown. Christian McCaffrey is that team, not Brock Purdy, not Ayuk. You took that guy away, they were crap. Then they started getting Debo back, started getting Ayuk back, and yeah, they're only 4-4, but I think right where they're at now is average, which is
Well, I mean, they're literally 4-4, which is the average of average. But again, that NFC West is wide open right now. Yeah. I mean, you got the Cardinals at 4-4. You got the Rams at 3-4 because they had the bye, but they're right there. Seattle's loss brought them to 4-4. So you have everybody at 4-4, except obviously for the Rams. But they went and beat the Vikings, so that's interesting to see how that turns out. So here we go. Let's take a look at number 11. What do we got there for both Jimbo and myself? Jimbo and hey, look at that. We're in concert here with the Falcons. Jimbo has the Falcons up a spot. He had them in 12 last week. I have the Falcons stay like before at number 12 at 5-3. They have full control of the NFC South. They beat Tampa twice, which really Tampa was the only competition they had there. So they essentially have a 2-game lead, as Tampa now is, I believe, 4-4 or 4-3, something like that. So it's they have it's on record. It's a game lead, but because they have the tiebreaker now for both games, it's ostensibly a 2-game lead
Yeah.
And they listen. They run the South right now, and they played better. They got 3 turnovers, fumbled 2 plays into the game. They picked Baker twice, and even though Tampa made a furious comeback, they were able to hold on. They recovered from that game that they had against the Seahawks at home, which again with the Bills game against the Seahawks looks even worse, I think, for the Falcons, which is why I kind of didn't move them up too much. Like again, they were not ranked. I didn't have them in there, but I moved them up in there. But that's why they were kind of down where they were, and now they're up there. So the Falcons need to show a little bit more consistency. But with the way the NFL is right now, 5-3 out of 11, I think is pretty good.
Yeah. No, I agree. Same thing too.
All right, so let's take a look at what we have at number 10, because I know this one's probably going to be different. It has to be. We got to start being different here. Jimbo knocked the Texans all the way down there to number 10, and I have the Broncos up. No change. So they kept the Texans. Sorry. Not a knockdown. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Something's wrong with me. But I have the Broncos up 2 spots with their win over the Panthers at 5-3. You have the Texans at 6-2. Jimbo, why not a big movement there for the Texans with their 3-point win over the Anthony Richardson-led Colts?
You just said it. They basically they beat a tired quarterback. I'm tired. I just run so much. Not impressive. Like if that's the quarterback the Colts were putting out there, they should have blew them away.
Again,
if it was Joe Flacco, I think the Colts would have beat them definitely.
Again, I said the same thing. I said if Joe Flacco's in that game, they win that game. And yeah. I think that's the first time I've really said, because again, and you've known me, I've said it plenty of times here. I've been a Anthony Richardson guy. I've been like, give him time. He hasn't played a lot. He was injured all last year. I think he's good. I think he's got talent. Sure. But man, once you do that,
yeah.
And when I saw that originally on Twitter, I was like, that's not right? Like that's not something that he didn't actually do that. That's somebody like making fun of him. No, that's something he said and did. It's like, oh my God. Oh, you can't do that. But yeah, so I agree with that as far as having to not change there on the Texans. And again, they're 6-2, but they don't feel like a 6-2 team. And now they've lost Stephon Diggs. I think that hurts them a little bit. As for my pick with the Broncos moving up 2 spots from 12 to 10, again, yes, it was the Panthers. Yes, I understand that they are clearly not the best team. In fact, me and you have them as the worst team in our power rankings. But this is a Broncos team, again, has a rookie quarterback, trying to get, and again, Bo Nix had another very good game, good statistical game. The Broncos defense played well. It was like they're improving, and again, like I said, I don't have the Broncos at like 5 or 4. They're at 10, but looking at the rest of the league right now, I think the Broncos are one of the top 10 teams in the NFL, top 12 clearly. So at 5-3, that's where I have them, just a smidge there over the Atlanta Falcons. Now for our 9 picks, who do we got here? You have the Vikings down 7 spots, all the way down to number 9 at 5-2. And at 5-3, I have down 6 spots the Baltimore Ravens. Both teams coming off of what might be considered improbable losses. I think more so on the Ravens side than for the Vikings. Yeah. But Jimbo, you knocked the Vikings all the way down to 7 after their 2nd straight loss. Why'd you make that decision?
Basically because of that. I mean, back-to-back losses. I'm even borderline saying, are they frauds? Like, I got one foot off the bandwagon.
Oh, right. They're 5-2, and now you're saying frauds, especially when you look at everything else that happened too, plus the missed face mask call, plus all, like, yeah, all right.
But, if you were this undefeated team, if you're this team that's supposed to compete with the Detroit Lions and be the best team in the NFC, you shouldn't let games come down to a missed face mask penalty, which, again, horseshit. We'll see this coming week. I'm not saying they're the Saints that's going to rattle off 6 losses, but if they lose another one, it's going to start getting a little loud. You got to at least think about it.
You have an ally in this situation when it comes to where the Vikings are. ELS in the chat is saying he agrees with your 11th and 12th pick, but honestly, he said he would switch the Texans and Vikings. He would put the Vikings down another spot. Well, granted, he's a Packer fan. So
So
the lower the Vikings can go, the better for ELS. He has no problem with that,
Yeah.
I have the Ravens down there again. The Ravens are down 6 spots. They are down to number 9 for really one reason and one reason only. You can't lose to the Browns. If you're the Ravens, if you're going to be this team, if you're going to be, we're going to come back in the AFC. We're going to be the number 1 team. We're going to be the team to beat. We're going to be the team that challenges the Chiefs to try to stop the three-peat. You can't lose to the Browns. And again, I thought the Ravens might have this kind of game against Buffalo, and they didn't. I thought they might have this kind of game against Cincinnati, and they didn't. I thought they might have this game against, again, another, maybe what you would consider a lower opponent. I thought maybe they'd have this kind of game against Washington. And it was close against Washington, but they didn't. They won that game. Then to go into Cleveland, again, granted, addition by subtraction because Deshaun Watson's not there anymore. So you had Jameis Winston going, but it's still Jameis Winston, his first start in forever. And you let him outduel you? And and
not just like manage the game, but like you said, like he put points up.
He threw over 300 yards, had 3 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah.
And especially the last minute one there to take the lead, and for them to be able to hold on to it. Like, come on, like it's so like you can't do that. So I think the Ravens are talented, absolutely, but you have to make that talent use, and you can't. Like, you have Derrick Henry and you have Lamar Jackson, and you've played these games against other teams where you've looked literally unstoppable. And then you got stopped by the Browns.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up the question of inconsistency, of how, like, why are you Ravens? Stop being so Raven. Just stop. Just consistency. People want to see consistency, and they just can't ever seem to get started with the consistency. So that's it. I have the Ravens down there. Mainly the biggest drop is because they lost to the Browns. That's why.
Yeah.
Again, at number 8 now, let's see what do we got going on here. Jimbo, you have yourselves the Ravens, which we just talked about. You have them down 4 spots. So kind of the same things. And again, I have the Texans here at 8, but no change. Kind of the same reasons that we had already explained before. Not impressive against the Colts, which, again, if Joe Flacco's in that game, the Texans probably lose that game. And again, everything we just talked about with the Ravens and losing to the Browns, and I imagine that's probably why you have them down 4 spots as well. It's not just that it was a loss, and it was a close loss, don't get me wrong, but it's the fucking Browns. It's the Browns. You can't lose to the Browns. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So here we go. Now at number 7, we're going to probably have, let's see what we have here. You have your Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, there's a surprise at 5-2. You have them up 4 spots. I have the Vikings, where I have them down 3 spots from their previous spot on my list with their loss to the Rams. We talked about the Vikings for a little bit already. Jimbo, Eagles up 4 spots in your rankings to number 7. Again, explain yourself.
Well, as I talk over my dog barking upstairs, which someone would let him outside. Impressive win over Cincinnati. It seems like the past 2 weeks, granted, I know it's the Giants, but it seemed like the past 2 weeks we are slowly getting our identity of like, hey, Nick,
you've played 2 very bad teams. I'm just going to say that.
But sometimes that's all you need is just a bad team to run, throw things at the wall type thing, and we're a physical team. And that's how we got to be. Also, the only other reason why they're up 4 spots is because of the Ravens and Vikings dropping so far down.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, just there's space up and you move people around. I get it. I've done that before. So that's all right. But I'm seeing, like, my biggest thing is just when it comes to the Eagles is the last 2 games you played, you beat the Giants and the Bengals, who are, I think we can both say clearly at this point we're just about at the halfway mark of the season. Not good. Not good. They're not good teams. And again, to that extent, at least the Eagles are winning against bad teams, so that's better than losing to bad teams, I suppose. In which case, you would be a bad team. But I don't know. Maybe and I'd like to say that I'm not biased. I really do. I really like to say there's not bias, but maybe there is. Maybe there's some kind of hidden bias that's even subliminal to me that I'm not getting, because I don't see it yet with the Eagles, even at 5-2. Much like how I said the Texans don't seem like a 6-2 team to me. The Eagles certainly don't seem like a 5-2 team, and they don't seem like a legitimate threat in the NFC East when it comes to like the Commanders and stuff. Like, I'm sorry, like I think the Commanders are legitimately head and shoulders above the Eagles. I really do. I really do.
Well, we finally got rid of Nick Sirianni, so we don't have to worry about him no more. Now we got Nick Balderani. So we're 3-0 since he.
Will you
since
stop
he
with
shaved
Will you stop?
And-
Will you stop with this? Stop!
Finally figured out the offense.
Stop it! Stop! Verboten. At number 6, you have the Buffalo Bills up 3 spots after their massive win in Seattle, where they just drummed the 12th man up there. That's and somebody else made that question too. I was like, are they dead? Is the 12th man dead in Seattle? Because it just it doesn't seem like that it has quite the effect that it used to.
I think the 12th man died like when the Legion of Boom went away.
Maybe I don't know. But you have the Bills up there again, up 3 spots at 6-2. The Packers I have at 5-2. No change, same spot that I had them before at number 6. Again, another last-minute field goal for the Packers. Last second field goal to win the game from McManus 2 weeks in a row. So it's good. It's better than losing, for sure, and especially you're trying to keep pace there in the NFC North with the Lions and the Vikings. But I couldn't move them up anywhere because it's, again, you needed a last-second field goal to barely beat the Cardinals. Or no, I'm sorry, the Texans. Pardon me.
Yeah.
And then you needed a last-second field goal to beat the Jaguars. And even though it was in Jacksonville, and granted, I think the Jaguars played maybe their best game of the year in that game, I can't move you up because of that. ELS agrees with me. All right. If a Packer fan agrees with me, I'm okay with that. I'm happy. I know I'm doing something right. But, Jimbo, you got the Bills up there. What caused you to move them up there 3 spots after that big win in Seattle? Was it just the fact of the size of the score or how they're actually playing?
So the size of the score was a big part of it. Kind of like with the Eagles, though, too, with Minnesota and Baltimore dropping down. That helped them with 2 spots there. What was it, a couple weeks ago, they had like kind of laid an egg there. So maybe, since they got Amari Cooper, they're kind of swinging it back to the right way. But mostly because of the big win and the losses from the Ravens and the Vikings.
God, do you remember when everybody was like, "Oh, I think the Dolphins win the AFC East this year"? The Jets
Yeah.
are probably going to win the AFC East this year. And the Bills said, "Well, everybody in the AFC East has 2 wins except for them. They are 6-2, and so this is again going to be another AFC East championship for the Buffalo Bills. Now into the top 5. Here we go. We both got the. Here we go. Steelers. Here we go. Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl. Your sister must be very happy about the Steelers. 6-2, leading the AFC North at this late point in the season. 8 games in, almost half the season in, and the Steelers are in the driver's seat in the AFC North and appear to be, again, getting better as the season goes on. They actually have a legitimate kind of deep threat when it comes to Pickens now, with having Russell Wilson be able to throw him the ball, and again along with that Steelers defense, which again you let up 18 points to the Giants. Now, granted, again TJ had the strip sack yesterday, and basically saved the game for the Steelers and all that, but you gave up 18 points to the Giants. Like, maybe tighten that shit up a little bit. I see you have the Steelers up 3 spots. I have them up 2. With that victory over the Giants. Jimbo, what's your reason for having the Steelers up there at number 5 for you?
So Russell Wilson. I guess I could admit this. I was wrong. I really thought it was the bad move to go to Russell Wilson away from Justin Fields when they were.
You weren't the only one. We all kind of were.
4-2 or whatever. But it seems like the Russell Wilson move opened up other things for other players like Pickens. I mean, 2 really good games he had so far compared to kind of have a quiet season with Justin Fields as a quarterback.
To be fair, they did play the Giants and the Jets. So
yeah. But I mean, you got Sexy Dexy. You know, he should be able to sack.
And he did. Dexy got himself in the backfield a little bit. He ate him some. He got back there. You know, so they did well. It's just, you know, also they had some big plays against that Giants secondary, which again, not a surprise.
But yeah, that's why I have him up there. It's just the Russell Wilson effect going into the season. Again, I know I said Giants Jets, but I did not expect this Russell Wilson to show up.
Yeah. So number 4, let's pop these bad boys open here. You have the Green Bay Packers, which we discussed already a little bit before, at 6-2, up 2 spots. I have the Bills up 5 spots with their huge win in Seattle there at number 4. Again, the way I saw what your kind of rankings there, it almost feels like that was kind of also a bit of a, well, some teams dropped down, so other teams kind of got knocked up, and maybe that's why the Packers got up 2 spots, even though they had a very close, another last-second field goal win against the Jaguars of all teams. But still, again, the Packers looking good. You have them at 4, I have them at 6, not too far off. Again, the NFC North is really something else. In the chat, ELS letting us know that he's not convinced yet when it comes to Russell Wilson being the QB1 there in Pittsburgh. Listen, ELS, I'll say this. I think the reason that Russell Wilson is basically has this job now, unless he completely screws up, I think the reason that this is his job to lose now is simply because of there is now a slight deep threat when you put him in the game, whereas with Justin Fields, it just wasn't there. He wasn't putting the ball on target. He didn't have the arm strength to get it where it needed to go. Russell Wilson is at least doing that. He's not a big over-the-middle guy. He's never been a big over-the-middle guy for throwing balls over the middle. But, again, as we've seen with Pickens, he can hit him going down the seam on the sideline. Like, that's why. And if that's the only difference, if that's the only reason, then that's a good enough reason for the Steelers with that defense and having Pickens that you would have Russell Wilson there being your starting quarterback there in Pittsburgh. And as for the Bills, again, we talked about that already, about the big win in Seattle. I think they're playing well. Josh Allen seems to be maybe getting back a little bit. Again, having Amari Cooper doesn't hurt. So we'll see, again, if they can remain that consistent. But 6-2 is a good record. You know what I mean? Like you're 8 games into the season, they're 6-2. Packers are 6-2, both at number 4 here in our rankings. Now to the top 3, Jimbo. And again, wow, we are in fucking lockstep with a lot of these picks, man. All right, the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders, we both have at number 3 in our rankings at 6-2, leading the NFC East. We both have them up a 2 spot after that last-second Hail Mary win over the Chicago Bears. Again, not a great game from anybody, particularly in that game. Again, Jaden Daniels playing with the hurt ribs. Not that that's an excuse, and he wouldn't use it as one. It didn't say so. And again, to say this, though, like he had the hurt ribs and was still able to uncork a 60-yard Hail Mary pass. Like, that's the thing. I've hurt my ribs and have been like, and just trying to breathe, trying to go to the bathroom and take a shit. I'm like, that guy uncorked a 60-yard Hail Mary that was able to go ahead and get completed. And again, maybe the biggest surprise of the year. And I will say this, Jimbo, unequivocally, there's no caveats. There's no disclaimers. There's nothing. Jaden Daniels, right now, to me, is in the top 3 of MVP choices in the NFL as a rookie.
But he won't get it because he's a rookie.
Maybe not. And we'll see how the rest of the season goes out, and we'll see how the rest of these guys play. But right now, if I would put my top 2, I would say it's Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. If you want my top 3, I think it's Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, and Jared Goff. Those are my 3 top MVP candidates right now in the NFL.
I could agree to that because Josh Allen finally threw his first interception this past week.
He's finally, but not only that, but I mean, he seems to he had a little bit of a lull there for like the Ravens game and the Texans game. He was kind of like, got a little bit of a lull, but he seems to have come back. And again, I'm sorry. Lamar's took a hit this week. You can't lose to the fucking Browns, Lamar. You can't be an MVP and lose to the Browns. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Pecan in the chat says, that's not Russell Wilson. That's an imposter. Give him time. Give him time. He'll show up who he really is. Thanks for joining us here in the chat, Pecan. By the way, Pecan is our leader in the clubhouse when it comes to the donations. I don't know if you know that, Jimbo, but if you want to go ahead and try to top Pecan. And again, Pecan did a challenge yesterday. He challenged everybody. He said, I got the $15. I'm in the ticker, which we don't have for the countdown. But he said, I'm in the ticker. I'm there. Anybody want to beat it? Anybody going to beat it? I don't think anybody can beat that $15. So if you want to do that, again, the link for our donation station is in the description underneath this video. Thank you so much for, and again, any amount will do. But Pecan, he put the gauntlet down. So that's a personal challenge to everybody else out there. So you take that as you will. But yeah, so we both have the Washington football team with Redskins Commanders. They're at number 3. Now coming up here to number 2. Jimbo, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, and I have the Detroit Lions. Chiefs are 7-0. The Lions are 6-1, which means let's just uncover the ones there because we already know what they are. It's just an inverse of what we each have. You have the Lions at 6-1, and I have the Chiefs at 7-0. Jimbo, why did you have the Chiefs and Lions in your positions? And then I will tell you why I have them in mine. Jimbo, go right ahead.
Another squeaker of a win. And that was surprising to me because of the Hopkins trade. I really thought this was the week they would have. Granted, Hopkins didn't know the full playbook or whatever, but he's a vet that you could have made plays up and really got this offense going. And, only to win by, one score, 3 points, 7 points, whatever it was. And then Detroit, once again, doing tight end passes and all that stuff. Like, I'm sorry, the Lions are just on a different level than the Chiefs right now.
Okay, and listen, I'm not. This is not something where I'm gonna be like, or like I think you're being bad, like because I've seen plenty of people put the Lions at their number 1 in the power rankings, and I think there's a legitimate reason for that too. I really do, and I think they are maybe playing the best football right now in the NFL. Having said that, though, Chiefs still ain't lost. And that counts for something. Like this would be in college football having and this is not currently, so I'm just being like just a hypothetical here.
Yeah.
It would be Texas being number 1 at 6-1 and having Alabama at number 2 at 7-0. That would never happen. You can't do it. You can't have the team that hasn't lost be below a team that has a loss, even if they are playing better right now. And this still goes to my thought of how the Chiefs are still not playing their best fucking football and are undefeated. How? How does that happen? How can a team that plays like the Giants, that has a quarterback that throws so many goddamn picks, still be 7-0? Like, it doesn't make a lick of goddamn sense. But they are. And until they lose, I can't knock them out of the top spot until they lose. They are the only undefeated team. And if you're the king of the mountain, you're the king of the mountain until somebody knocks you off. And the Chiefs ain't been knocked off yet. They're 7-0. And the Lions might be that team that can get to the Super Bowl and knock them off of that mountain. The Lions might be that team. But we won't know that until February. So until that day, or until the Chiefs lose, and listen, there's a long season to go. There's certainly a lot of chances for the Chiefs to lose a game, especially if they keep on playing the way they are. Yeah. But until they do, I can't knock them off of that pedestal. Taking a quick look here in the chat. We got J Chip in here talking about, as a Steelers fan, Russ looked good, but good God, do we need a wide receiver number 2? Fair enough. I'll agree with that. Pecan asking if you're feeling okay, Jimbo, as the Chiefs, he feels, are going all the way, and I don't even like them. He adds a little epithet to that. Now ELS and Pecan are having a little bit of a discussion of whether or not that is true, as Pecan kind of is going that they're the Kansas City refs, which I'm tired of that. I'm so tired of. Listen, if there's one thing
Pecan.
that has
finally someone that agrees with me.
If there's one thing that I've, has been a great eye opener into doing all of these games, as far as watching them all the way through, broadcasting them, play-by-play reactions as we do them, is holy fucking shit, do the refs suck in every fucking game. Well, every one of them. There's not a single game where these refs don't make some of the dumbest fucking calls in the history of football. It's just the absolute worst shit that these referees do. And the people watch these games and they see the Chiefs game and they're like, oh, the refs are clearly on the Chiefs side. No, they're not on the Chiefs side. They're not on anybody's side. They're just fucking stupid. They don't know how to officiate games. They are the worst. And this year has been worse than before. So I don't even know. Sorry. Insane. Just
even at the Notre Dame game, it seems like the college refs are starting to get in there a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like they. Hey guys, don't forget about us. Flag, 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 flag. No, we're not rooting for you, you fucking assholes. Nobody has a pennant that has the stripes on it. Nobody's buying souvenir fucking flags. Although, might be something we can get in on.
There you
Start getting maybe get some souvenir flags. Get people buying souvenir flags. They can throw it at the games at the officials for saying that they're doing a bad job. It'd be a bad call, ref. Go throw a flag at the refs while you're at the game. Maybe that's not. Instead of throwing bottles on the field, Texas, maybe throw some flags at the refs. Let them know that they've got the penalty. I don't know. And again, and this is the part that I love about doing the countdown, is that we invite everybody to come into the chat, share their thoughts, share their ideas of where they feel people are. Again, we have got J Chip in there talking about how he thinks the Chiefs' strong suit is their defense 100%. The Chiefs are 7-0 because a lot of their defense and Chris Jones and how they've played. They've played absolutely fantastic. And looking at their schedule, maybe the Texans or the Bills can beat them, but we'll see. I think if the Chiefs continue to play the way they're playing, the Bills should beat them. Should. On paper. But again, it is a weird season. I don't know. And I don't know about the Texans. I really don't know about the Texans there, J Chip. I really don't. And ELS, real quickly. What's that?
I was going to say, I think this week will show what Texans team is going to be going forward.
Who are they playing?
Go read the chat. I will look it up right now.
Okay. Then how did you know if this is going to show us who they are if you don't know who the fuck they're playing?
They could play the Colts, and with no Stephon Diggs, they could suck.
Just quickly, ELS wanted to share his top 12 in the chat, and this is his. He's got the 49ers at 12, Falcons at 11, Vikings at 10. That's where he agreed with you. He's got them one spot lower than you, of course. He does. Texans at 9 because he said he wanted to flip them. Ravens at 8, Eagles at 7, Packers at 6, Steelers at 5, Bills at 4, football team of Redskin Commanders at 3, the Chiefs at number 2, and the Lions at number 1. So he agrees a lot with you. He's got a lot of the same picks as you do there.
Oh, he's a very smart individual.
He's a very, very, very demure, very very intelligent.
I want to redact my Houston Texans comment.
Why? Who are they playing?
Maybe the following week we'll see.
Who are they playing?
The Jets. On Thursday
night.
Dude,
that's right. Yeah, they're playing the Jets on Thursday night, which I have to cover, which I have to watch.
I'll be there for at least a half.
Are you going to be there? Are you going to be there?
Yeah,
all right.
I'll be there. Yeah, I got the tooth all fixed and everything, so
no more pain. Oh yeah. How's the tooth feeling? How's the tooth going?
Jaw hurts. Tooth feels fine though.
Okay, good. That's good.
So
that's. I was gonna make a joke. I'm deciding to be an adult. I'm deciding to be an adult. No, because it's too easy. It's Kobe. little too easy. I don't want to do that. So we will be covering that. Dude, can you imagine if the Texans lose to the Jets? Ooh, that would be fun. That would throw everything into chaos. What would the top 12 be? What would the Bootycheeks be? Everything would be all up in the air. We have no idea.
Pull another lever. For this guy now.
Wrong lever, Crunk. But okay, there we go. That is our top 12s. As you can see them both right there down on your screen. We've just covered every single one of those. And, of course, earlier we had the Bootycheeks 5. And, boy, I got to tell you, we're here in the halfway point of the season now. So we're getting to the point where we're kind of figuring out where these teams are, where their level is. Who's supposed to be where, who's not. Like I said, I don't think we're going to see the Panthers out of the Bootycheeks 5 at any point in the season. I don't think we're going to see like the Chiefs or the Lions or the Vikings or anybody else out of the top 12 for the rest of the season either. I think we have some of our teams set there. I think we have the team set at the bottom. When you get to the 8, 9, 10s, 12s of the top 12 power rankings, I think that's where you're going to have some spots where teams can jump up and move up, make a little bit more of a statement, or fall down or fall out of the rankings. But I think for now, I think we're getting closer to a consensus. And again, we had a lot of the same rankings here this week, which has been something that's been lacking for the last couple of weeks. So again, it feels like we're getting to a medium here. We're getting to a level here where we're kind of figuring out where everybody is.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it here for the countdown. Again, thank you so much for joining us. If you liked what you've watched, please hit that like button. Helps us out tremendously with the algorithm. Hit that share button. Share us around, your friends, your family, people you know, people you don't, people you love, people you hate, perfect strangers. Doesn't matter. The more eyeballs you get on here for us, the better, and we can't thank you enough for that. And of course, if you're watching along and you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and help us out here as we continue on the road to 200. See, here's the other thing too, and I pride myself on this. I will never say smash that like button or smash the subscribe or smap it around or whatever the fuck all these other ones say. Yes, we say it a lot and we talk about it a lot because YouTube kind of makes you do it. It's like, make sure, please don't forget, hit that like, subscribe, like, hit it. Like I get it, But again, for everybody who does that and has helped us out and done all that, thank you so very much for all of your help in doing so. By the way, also, if you do want to help us out in a little bit more direct fashion, we have the link for our donation station and our merch store down in the description below this video. Just click on those links. You can go shopping. Basically, it's like donating to us, except you get like a nice shirt or a hoodie, which is pretty good. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And more stuff is coming in there all the time, so keep your eyes out for that. Also, and again, with the donation station, we appreciate every single donation, and we'll give you a shout out no matter how much you donate, whether it's 5 cents, whether it's $15, whether it's $50, whether it's listen, if somebody wants to donate like $100,000, hey, listen, if there's a rich benefactor out there somewhere, that would be, hey, we'll give you a shout out and a half, baby. We'll love all that. But again, thank you guys so very much for watching us here. I'm not 1,000% about the flagship show tomorrow because again, I do have a doctor's appointment. So, Jimbo, you might be doing it by yourself. Okay. Or we'll figure something out. I don't know. And then, of course, Thursday Night Football, the New York Jets, Houston Texans. And then on Friday will be the Friday forecast where me and Jimbo will make the rest of our picks for we're at week 9 already, Jimbo.
Yeah.
We're at week 9. It's getting, we're almost in double digits of the weeks. That's when you start getting sad. That's when we're in November. It's going to be November. Halloween is going to be Thursday night, which is fun. And then we got November. We're already in November.
Yeah.
Go by way too fast. But until the next time we see you here on Stay Tuned Sports, my name is King. That is your good friend Jimbo, and we will see you all later. Thanks for joining us. Adios, everybody.